Test 1, 2.
Testing. We're gonna need you to speak into your mic.
Test 1, 2.
Yeah,
We're gonna
you can
need
pull it
you
pretty
to
close.
pull
If you
the
need to
mic
adjust
more
it, you
closer to
can.
I'm all right there.
That should be
Check
good.
1, 2,
All right,
3,
so
4.
All right.
yeah, just
tell us your first name.
Yeah,
David
Tell us your last name.
Schlaupitz.
Schlaupitz.
Or if you say it like the old world, Schlau, because it's Schlau.
Schlaupitz?
It's Schlau.
Schlau.
Eine Schlau.
wow.
I always wondered if I was saying it wrong all these years.
I knew I was. I didn't.
I had to call somebody who
Schlaupitz.
verified my name today, and she was like, I don't want to butcher it. I'm like, everybody does, dude. You got nothing
That
to worry
is-
about.
Everybody does.
Man, that's so relatable.
Welcome to the Expansion Project with Alex Oradola and Stephanie Chenis. Listen and process life with us.
Hey guys, and
Hello.
welcome back to episode 3 of the Expansion Project.
We're here. I'm excited.
Yeah, we
as
did it.
always.
As always.
We're so excited.
Every episode, I feel like we're just like, I can't believe we made it to another one.
We can't believe we're here.
We can't believe it.
But we are.
Yes, we are. So we're excited today. We have a very special guest, but before we introduce him,
He's very special.
He's making faces at me. Before we introduce him, just some quick housekeeping. We want to jump right into the questions in this interview. But just some housekeeping really quick. Want to plug the email once
Yes.
again. We have had some just responses and people mailing in, and we just want to say thank you. Some really encouraging, really cool words.
Yes. We
from people.
got a really encouraging email.
Yeah.
And it made our day.
Shout out to Kayla Pelletier.
Yes.
Love you.
Yes.
Much love. It warmed our hearts. Thank you so much for the encouraging words.
It did.
But yeah, just a shout out to everybody who's emailed in so far. Some questions that we may or may not ask. But we love you guys, and thank you for all the feedback. And
It's been exciting.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. So remember, keep emailing. Don't stop.
Yes, for real. Seriously, anything, questions, queries, topics that you want us to talk about, whatever it is, just send it to. Hold on, I always forget the email. Hold on, I gotta pull it up. I'll remember it after a while, but to expansionpodcastgtcc@gmail.com.
That's us.
Yep. expansionpodcastgtcc@gmail.com. Send anything, literally anything. We'd love to hear from you.
Yes. We appreciate you.
And secondly, just want to remind you, if you are on Apple Podcasts, drop us a 5-star review.
5 stars. No less. But a 5.
No less.
We only want 5s. No, but we appreciate your reviews
Yes.
and your feedback. It's very important to us.
We actually have gotten some 5-star reviews, but they were anonymous, so we can't shout you out. But if you do want to shout out, we'd love to shout you out. Just drop a 5-star review. Leave a message.
Can I be honest? I was one of them.
Were you really? It's actually a good idea. I didn't think of
I
that.
gave us a 5-star review.
But yeah, for real though, if you dig the podcast and you want to drop us a review, we'd love it. And we'll give you a shout out on the show if you drop us a 5-star review. So yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
Alex, we have this lovely person sitting
He's just
here.
been making faces at us this whole time. He's been pantomiming.
We need to bring him on the mic.
I know, right? So Steph, why don't you do the honors? Why don't you introduce our guest today?
Oh boy. Man, my favorite person.
Ooh, come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, for our very first time we actually get to interview someone, we have our very own Pastor David Schlaupitz.
Yeah.
Wow, you went old school.
Like that.
Yes, I do. It's good to be here in your undisclosed location.
Yes, don't tell anyone where we record.
I couldn't find it in
the very place that I work. So it is very undisclosed.
Legit, we texted him like we're ready to record, and he apparently searched every room to find us. And the last room he searched in was where we were.
Nobody can find us.
Yeah.
The intimidation chamber. You ever find yourself in this hot seat? It's intimidating. The Alex and Stephanie staring at you.
We appreciate you coming on here.
Yes, we do.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, Pastor Dave,
good.
welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. You were the first person we thought of when we thought of people to interview, because we just wanted to kind of pick your brain about what you're thinking about.
Pick away.
About what's going on in the church. But yeah, I guess we should just kind of jump in when we want to give as much time as possible to these questions.
He deserves the floor.
But I guess really quick, how are you doing? How's
I'm good. I just finished a workout, and I worked out with Pastor Jared and Charisse. I'm still sweating profusely. It was intense, to say the least. Poor children were walking by from co-op. They're like, "What are they doing, Mama? Why are they crying?"
like, don't look at them.
Yeah, seriously. But yeah, so I'm doing pretty well. Other than that,
Good.
This seat's very comfortable. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Only the best.
Only the best. We got you the Nestle Pure Life water.
Your favorite?
Yes.
We dug deep in our pockets.
Purified water with calcium and chloride and sodium bicarbonate.
That's all yours, man.
It's delicious.
That's
You're
pretty
welcome.
much what we can do with
Enhancement
our
flavors.
budget. Yeah.
They're balling on a budget.
Balling on a budget.
You know how we do. All right, so let's jump into these questions. We drafted up a list of questions here for you, but let's start with the first one. If you would, give us a brief testimony of your life up until this point. I guess.
Bum, bum.
It all began on a warm July evening.
Painting a picture.
I was born in the evening, by the way.
Oh.
But I was born and raised in southwestern Pennsylvania, about 30 miles south of Pittsburgh, hence my affection for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yes.
How's that going?
Very well received up here in New England. That's fine. Put it behind me. Like a forgiving Christian would. Grew up, I guess, in a pretty typical Americanized home. But then around the age of 16, I started just going off the rails with my lifestyle. And it led me down a really dark path, actually, of addiction and hopelessness and sadness, until one incredible evening on New Year's Eve in a little farmhouse in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, just literally off the grid kind of place. I knew I needed to call on God, and I fell on my knees beside that bed, and I prayed and I asked God to make himself real. I basically was just like, I'm desperate, and if you're real, God, I need you to make yourself real. And when I tell you Jesus stepped into that room, I get emotional every time I talk about it. I can't help, because it was such a dramatic change and drastic moment in my life. And I just cried. I cried so hard and so long. I thought I was going to wake the whole house up. I remember it was Christmas Eve, and everybody was there because my sister was about to get married. So her soon-to-be husband's family was in town and stuff like that. And I just thought, man, I'm going to wake this whole house up sobbing.
Wow.
And from that point on, I've been serving Jesus, and it's led me to where I am, sitting in front of the two of you right now.
Wow.
My most precious moment, besides my conversion.
My crowning achievement.
And I could say a lot more. Obviously, with the Bible college, met my wife. We have 2 children. But without Jesus, I wouldn't have any of that.
Yeah.
So I give all the glory to God.
Amen.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll talk more about my family in a bit.
Sure.
But go ahead.
Sure.
If you ask me, I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
We will.
I've heard that story several times, and it's equally powerful every time. It's such a cool testimony.
The moral of that story is, if you need to call out on Jesus, call out to Jesus, and he'll be there.
Come on.
Call on him.
the
Jesus
name
on
of
the
the
main
Lord.
line.
Yep.
Tell him what you want.
Tell him.
Call in 1-800 read your Bible.
That's right. Jeremiah 33:3. Jesus' phone number.
I love it. All right, Steph, you want to ask?
All right. Number 2. What is your favorite family activity?
Sleeping. No, I'm just kidding. It's when the house is quietest. We do a variety of family activities, but if I had to choose some top favorites, we are very competitive as a family. Obviously, Isabel's not quite there, although she might be for like getting her brother's attention competitive. But we love family game nights.
Yep.
Ticket to Ride, probably at the top. Rummy Cube, close second. We do play stuff like Yahtzee, but family game nights we love doing that. And it gets very, we don't play.
Sure.
The trash talk is real. And if you win, bragging rights obviously happen until the next family game night.
Right.
But all together with Izzy included, we like to do family fires outside.
Yep.
And we have like this little 12-foot John boat, this little guy. We like to cruise around on the lake.
That's the
and go
best.
to the rope swing and stuff up at Wakefield Pond.
Oh,
I told her my secret spot. It's all good.
Don't go there.
Strike it from the record.
Delete.
Like, what did he say? Like, what language is he speaking right now? That's awesome.
That's the best.
And that's a glimpse into our family activities.
I love that. We used to do family game night when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Still remember them.
Oh, yeah.
You never forget
Competitive,
that
right?
Stuff. Yes.
And you beat Melissa, I'm sure. There's
No,
like,
it's kind of not the truth, but it's fine.
tell the truth on the radio.
We'll leave that there.
Melissa, if that's true or not true, send an email to
Yeah, right. If it's true that you always beat your sister, give them a 5-star review.
Well, looks like we're getting 5 stars.
Oh, man.
You two are fun.
Oh, thanks.
You guys should try to get on this show. Podcast.
Who are you talking to? The
Whoever's
viewers?
listening. They should email in and ask. That should be your question.
Yes.
Can we be interviewed on the show?
There you go.
It
Yes,
is intimidating,
you can.
though. They're intimidating, but it's
Yeah.
fun. They're
I
fun.
mean, I don't think we're that intimidating.
Yeah. I haven't broken eye contact with
They're
Pastor
very
David this entire
much
time.
are intimidating.
Just intimidating. Just staring.
Like, just staring me down. I have questions.
All right. Question number 3. Word on the street is you're Yelp certified. What is up with that? And also, what is that?
Okay. If you're going to interview me, proper terminology, it's Yelp Elite.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right.
Yelp
He
Elite.
is elite.
It's an
elite.
app that people who are self-proclaimed food critics can rate basically any place you go to on a scale of 1 to 5 stars. And ironically, my first Yelp review was a 1-star review. I'll leave the car place unnamed. They sold me a lemon, and I felt the public needed to know
That
about
is
it.
deserving of a 1 star.
And that was the beginning of my Yelp quest. But then as you put more out there, they will eventually see you and put you as an elite. And then you get invited to like VIP parties and stuff like that. I mean, really, you just get to go to the business when everyone else does, and they have your name on a list, and they'll give you like free stuff, like an ice cream cone or something.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want free ice cream?
Yeah, it's for real.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, like, we're sitting in front of a...
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool because, like, you
Famous
get to tell
person.
people, like, especially, I like it mainly because it gives, like, local owners exposure.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So, like, I can go to, like, a locally owned place, you know, like Chapachet Deli, and people might not really know about them, but because I'm, you know, Yelp Elite, and I post a 5-star review, and I post some pictures of the food I ate, and I'm like, man, this place is the bomb. And then people are like, oh, I want to go check that place out. And so they're going to give local business owners business, you know?
That's great.
Wow.
It's not like so much to go to Walmart and be like, you know, I was in aisle 15 and it was all disheveled. There's no work because I went to the cash out and there was one cashier for 55,000 people.
I will say, no matter which Target or Walmart you go to on Google, there's always that one review that's like
course there is.
this very specific incident that happened to them. And I'm like, this isn't giving me a good metric of this business at all. Like, I know.
The worst.
Okay, first of all, I went to the Walmart in Putnam.
Yeah.
Place is pristine. Looked them up on Yelp. They had like 2 stars.
Yeah.
I was like, people, you need to check yourself. Have you been to the one on Silver Spring Avenue in Providence? You got to go with a bulletproof vest.
You don't
okay?
go there. We don't go there no
Yeah,
more.
you don't go there.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
like, you people are like gentrified up here.
I
So
don't
what's
know.
wrong with you?
I remember-
They don't know.
2 stars. You got to give this place 50 stars. Everything was nice and neat. There's workers everywhere.
You're
they
safe.
have what they advertise on the website.
Yeah, that's
Give me a
big.
break.
Honestly, that's huge.
Silver Spring, you're going and looking over your head on a swivel.
No, we used to go to that one.
You don't. Sometimes you don't know
over your house.
if you're leaving the store or not.
Well, 50 of you going in, 25 aren't coming back.
It's a little scary.
You're
It's
right.
a little scary.
They advertise 5 of the items that they have online. You show up, there's none on the shelf.
Yes. Oh,
Give me a break, people.
Don't get me started.
What's up with that?
That's a whole nother episode.
Silver Spring Walmart, get your act together. Now the podcast people know. That's Silver Spring Ave, Providence, Rhode Island.
Come on, spread the word.
Don't go there.
Walmart.
Calling you out, Walmart. Come on the podcast and defend yourself.
Go defend yourself. Send an employee.
Oh man.
All right, Steph.
All right. What is your favorite memory of Alex and myself?
Okay, first of all, people, I need to give you some backstory. I have known the two of these amazing people for well over a decade. So I have many, many, many stories that I can tell you. So if you want the worst of the worst, just pull me aside and ask me.
Yeah.
So for the sake of our radio listeners, I'll keep it somewhat tempered. But I mean, I'm going to go a little off the rails. So one of my favorite memories is pantsing Alex in front of the entire bus. He made the mistake of wearing basketball shorts, and as a youth pastor, I felt obligated to test the durability of the elasticity of the waist. And it just so happened that we had a bus full of teenagers. What better way to introduce him to the bus than mortify him in front of his peers? But the best part of all is that when I did it, in such a way that I was sneaky like a ninja. So Alex thought my wife did it. Of all people, because she just happened to be the one closest in proximity, and I was able to do it and quickly like turn away and face the other way like I had no clue what was happening. And so he looks at my wife and is like, "Are you kidding me? Are you serious?"
You blamed Erin?
Oh, he blamed Erin.
I did
Oh yeah,
immediately.
he was so mad.
Sorry, I'm moving around.
But that's a highlight for me for sure.
Is it? Oh, is it?
Yes, of course. It was wonderful.
Definitely.
It was wonderful.
And Stephanie, we're on a youth trip. I believe it was Charlotte. It was a national youth convention. And she got the idea to, in the hotel that she was staying in with her youth that she was overseeing as a leader, Stephanie, I put you on a pedestal, to dye all of their hair and then use the hotel towels to clean up all the dye.
All right.
And so somehow the manager caught wind of it, and she was not happy. She was
She
livid.
was very mad.
Oh, yeah. So she essentially told Stephanie that if she didn't clean the towels, she was going to have to pay for them. And they must have been some like really fine Egyptian like cotton, because she made the claim that they were each going to charge like some ridiculous amount of money. And I think the total for all the towels was going to be like over $300. And I just was like, Steph, you got to figure it out. And she did. She pulled magic, man, out of the hat, and she cleaned those towels like they had never been dyed. And I was pretty impressed with that. That was quite the memory, because I could tell she was in panic mode when she had to come and tell me as the youth pastor how much we were going to be charged on the shoestring budget we had.
I know. We were
Oh, man.
just
It was bad.
scraping together dimes and nickels. on that trip.
Literally.
Okay.
Literally, though. No, we
Yeah,
were.
no,
People were
legit.
scraping them off the floor of a sticky bus, man. This happened. They were screwdrivers brought out. But honestly, like, okay, all kidding aside,
Yeah.
my favorite, if I'm going to say like my favorite memory or moment are the current ones that we're living out. Because like what you guys don't get to see, I get to see in the day to day. And I have a front row seat to two incredible people living out God's calling on their lives. And for me, that's where it's at. I've had that front row seat since our inception of meeting.
Yeah.
And really, I've been in ministry with these two for the entire time, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so I've always kind of had that front row seat, but that for me is priceless.
Amen.
And it is. I'm getting a little
We
emotional again,
love
man.
you.
All
Oh,
right.
I love the both of you.
You
very
almost made
much.
me forget the story you just told about me.
Yeah. All is
Never
forgiven.
forget. No, it's not.
Put it behind you like a good,
No,
forgiving
it is.
Christian.
Shops, we can't do it without you.
Absolutely. Yeah. For
Oh,
real.
feelings.
For real.
You
We feel the
literally,
same way.
you've supported us and been with us every step of the way. And
I'm the one answering the questions here. Okay,
oh,
that's
I was
enough.
sorry.
Don't get mushy.
Oh, okay. Next question, Alex. Next
Pastor
question.
Dave, the new host of the podcast.
New host.
confirmed.
We're off.
All right. So number 5. All right. So who are some of your greatest influences?
The Lord.
Okay. There you go.
Note that Jesus is always the answer.
That is the Bible college answer.
Yep,
Right there.
That's
there you
right.
go.
Yeah.
Greatest influence. So if I had to put it for like an author for books that I mean, obviously, like the Bible and all that, that, as a pastor, those are the Lord, the Holy Spirit. Those are my greatest influences daily. But just outside of that, author-wise, I would say Malcolm Gladwell. I really enjoy the way he writes. And Donald Miller, his earlier stuff, I really gelled with. And then as far as like outside like authors things, my parents, my wife, my children, they influence me, my parents, my upbringing.
Yeah.
And then now, just the way that that my wife is and my children are, it challenges me to be a better person. And they influence me in that. And then beyond that, my spheres of influence, the staff here at the church and the people that I pastor, they influence me. It's not some famous celebrity like you see on TV or somebody that you don't meet. It's the people that I encounter in the day-to-day that I'm like, man, they're just good people.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
So if I had to answer, those are my greatest influences.
Love it. Love the
That's
good
great.
people.
You got it.
What is your most memorable God moment thus far?
Oh man, I've had so many God moments. I told you about one already. It's funny because to try to like describe a God moment
Yeah.
is so difficult when it's like a true God moment. You know what I mean? It's a heavenly experience in an earthly body, and to try to tell you about that would be really difficult. So I'm going to keep it somewhat practical, and that is the greatest God moments have been at every major transitional junction in my life. When I got saved, when I went to Bible college, my first ministerial position, when I felt like God was directing me from that to here. I don't know that many people know like that, how that transition went down, because I always said I would never be a lead pastor.
Yeah.
You just hear a lot of horror stories. It's unfortunate. But one day in my devotional time in the morning, I felt like the Lord just gave me this like unlocking of something where I was like, I think I see myself moving into that role. I can see myself doing that. And I was afraid though. There was a certain amount of trepidation, and I had preached on a Saturday night at North Providence, now Res Church, and one of the board members of the church, Linda Giarusso, who operates in the prophetic, came up to me at the end of service, and she put her hand on my chest and she goes, "Don't be afraid." God's saying, "Don't be afraid." And then like within a week, I got a call from my brother-in-law. And he goes, "Hey, man, I feel like God gave me a word for you." And I was like, "What's up, man?" This is all happening at the same time. The devotional time, Linda, and then John Michael, my brother-in-law. He says, "I see you stepping into the helm again."
Yeah.
Because I was the youth pastor for like over a decade, and then I became the associate. It's like kind of the right-hand guy, the second in command. And he said, "But I see you stepping into the helm." And I was just like floored. And then I came up to Glad Tidings to preach on a Sunday, and Pastor Tim was here at the time, and it's literally like 5 minutes before I'm about to preach, and he goes, "Hey, can I bend your ear for a second?" I was like, "Yeah, man, what's up?" He's like, "Step in the office." He goes, "I believe you're the next lead pastor of this church, and I'm going to tell you 3 reasons why."
Whoa.
His top reason was that we were both Steelers fans, just so you guys know the secret conversations that go on about spiritual matters.
Unbelievable.
But I'm like looking at him. Obviously, it was a major confirmation, but I'm like, man, you're going to drop this bomb. What if it hadn't been? What if I had really been like just like treading water and feeling like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah.
It's like, you're the next lead pastor here.
Wow.
But every transitional point in my life has been so confirmed by God in just a very incredible way where I knew that I knew. And I think, Alex, you sort of talked about that a little bit in your testimony when you took that summer tour to pray, and God just began to break you for teenagers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's good to see that happening, all around.
Yeah.
Love that.
Wow.
Yes.
Very powerful.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's
It's this chamber we're in. It's like an anointed room. Just feel the presence.
This chamber we're in? What is it like?
This dungeon
stone
you
walls?
brought me
Right, dungeon.
There's
right,
candles
people.
on the
We have
wall.
beautiful
Surprised we have
sunlight.
Wi-Fi in here.
Cell phone reception.
That's right, with the fortified walls.
We're gonna need a
No
new
sound
room.
gets in or out.
No, we're relocating.
Can you build us something out there, please?
Adding like artificial sounds. Are those birds chirping in the background?
Well, yes, they
Said
are.
they were in a dungeon.
All right. Wait, did I read the last one or DJ?
I did, but I feel like these we can just you can just answer. They all go together.
Okay,
Really?
cool. Yeah, let's read them all together then. All right, so last three questions we have here are concerning. You've been jumping into a series the past. Honestly, it's been what? Maybe a couple months, 2 months.
Yeah, like
Yeah, a
10
couple
weeks
months.
or so.
Yeah, 10 weeks or so. You've been jumping into a very deep series on the book of Revelation. We've referenced this a few times in past episodes. So we want you to kind of talk on this, but the three specific questions we have are, first, how did you come up with starting this series on the book of Revelation? And what are you hoping to communicate most with this series? And what is next for this series? Specifically, like the next maybe part of this series, or maybe even what series you're thinking on moving on to after this.
Right. But we're staying in Revelation, so that,
Okay.
that's that mystery's solved.
Okay.
Easy answer.
That's right.
Sure.
How did I come up with starting the series? So it began. Man, I if I get emotional, it's for good reasons.
Sure.
But I had already been kind of praying about going into the book of Revelation because of the times that we're in. Really, really genuinely believing we're in the end times.
Yeah.
And then I had a dream about my mom who passed away in 2018. But in the dream, I've only had 2 dreams about my mom since she passed. And the first time it really sent me into like a downward spiral, like really, really into kind of a sadness because I was just missing her. This time it was so different. In the dream, I walked into this room right at the same time as her. And it was like a glorious reunion. I can still visualize it. Her hair, she has red hair. Her hair was like this beaming red and she was glowing. And I remember like in the dream, I had this like lucid moment where I'm like, man, this feels like heaven. And I woke up and I wasn't sad. I was like excited. I'm like, man, one day this is going to come to fruition, you know?
Yeah.
And then, so I have all this going on in my head. And a guy in the church, we're at men's, John Tower, he says, Pastor, I have a gift I want to give to you. And so to give you a little backstory, before that conversation happened, I was watching a video that Robbie Woods had posted on Facebook. And in this video, he's like talking about a day in the life of Tor, and he's showing his kids. And then he walks over to his wife, and she's holds up a book she's reading, and it's called Revealing Revelation. And I'm like, oh, I need to get that book. I'll bet you that'll be a good, sort of side part to my studies.
Yeah.
So at men's, John says, come over to my truck, man. I want to give you a gift. So we walk over. He hands me this like manila envelope looking thing, and inside of it is Revealing Revelation. And I just looked. I got the chills just now again. I go, my guy, you don't even understand. And I just told him the whole timing of it. And so that really propelled me to, and then reading that book, Revealing Revelation, really kind of just opened my eyes to the fact that like Revelation was meant to be read. It was meant to be preached. It's not a book that we should shy away from or be afraid of or think it's too mysterious. And so it just sort of like took the burden off to say, all right, I'm going to go for it, which was very freeing. And hoping to communicate, obviously like calling the church to like a deeper level of holiness and sort of a purification. And I saw that through the reading of the 7 love letters to the churches, where the Lord really got down to the nitty gritty of what the Christian life should look like and representing him well. But I really also want to see people to catch the vision of Jesus as Lord, that he is the King of Kings. He is the Lord of Lords. He's the Alpha and he's the Omega. There's all these beautiful names that are brought up in the book of Revelation regarding who Jesus is. And I really want just a clearer picture of who Jesus is to be seen through this study. Next in the series, so I'm praying about 2 things. We're going to stay in it, but part of me wants to address the lack of mention of America in end times prophecy. I think it kind of weighs on every, most Americans' minds, I would think, that are Christians. Where is America in end times prophecy?
That's so true.
So that's something that I'm praying about, just sort of like a side step before we go into what really is the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
Like it goes from, the throne room and all this beautiful, incredible imagery of the throne to like God just pouring out his wrath on planet Earth, and it gets dark real fast, So that's what I'm probably gonna end up doing, address America in prophecy or lack thereof, and then dive into the breaking of the seals that we just saw the picture of, the lamb that was slain, taking the 7 seals, from the hand of the Father, the right hand. Oof. Yeah. Oh, you feel that, right?
I feel it.
Intense. It gets very intense.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
but all exciting stuff.
Yeah. For real. And I mentioned this before, but it's just nice. It's like you said, it's not preached on a lot. The book of Revelation, this topic, it gets really heavy. And so I've really appreciated the angle that you approach this at. Your first part, examining the love letters. And now we're delving into something different, but it's still in that same scope. And obviously this is heavily reflective of the book that you've been reading, that we've been reading. And I just, I really appreciate it, and everybody's really excited about it too. So,
and I recommend that book big time, Revealing Revelation. And if you know somebody who's intrigued by, end time stuff or Revelation prophecy, that you buy it for them. It's on Amazon. That's not a plug or anything. It's just a fact. I don't have ties to the guy.
You get a chunk.
Best friends.
You get a chunk of that
It's
product.
a necessity in your bookshelf. Okay?
Oh man, great stuff.
This is great stuff.
It is.
And then Steph had asked off the record if I would rate the staff.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that
Seriously?
at this time.
So
You thought that was off the record? Let me get out the names.
Come on,
Let
come
us begin. They're all 10s if 10 is the top. Said that. Whatever the top is. If it's 5, it's a 5. 10, 10. A million, you get it.
I'm going with the
They're
million.
amazing.
I appreciate it, but that's also a cop-out answer. Just saying.
Hey.
I'm joking. Thank you.
Alex Oxadoya. It's an inside joke. You'll have to ask Alex about it later.
Ask me about that.
His alternate
thanks.
last name is AKA is Oxadoya.
I'm getting nervous. I don't know if we should
Mr.
give him
T.
the mic
I
anymore.
know, like this is the last one.
What else are you going to say?
I know, right? Oh, I just thought of a story.
No more stories from you.
That's right. He's like, off the air.
I just cut.
Yeah, right.
Like they didn't even do an outro. That was weird.
No.
All right. All right. So that's all the questions we have. We want to turn
Thanks,
you loose.
fam.
We know you have a busy day.
Extremely
But
busy.
thank you so much for
Yes.
stopping in and talking to us.
We love you.
Yeah, I love you, man.
Love
for
you
real.
back.
I do want to plug the sermon series though. We have the entire series so far on YouTube on our YouTube page. If you go to YouTube and search Glad Tidings Community Church, or just check our website gtcc.church. You'll be directed to our current sermon, and then from there you can go to our YouTube page where we have a playlist of every sermon in this series so far. And it's a great watch. I definitely recommend it for sure.
One of the best.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think that about does it.
This is it.
Yeah,
Thanks for your time. It's been fun.
absolutely.
I can't with him.
Dissecting my life.
I'm going to regret asking this, but is there anything you want to say before we go? Any last words?
This has been fun, and I hope everyone enjoys this podcast. This is really good. I have thoroughly been enjoying it. I have Spotify.
Hey.
Yeah,
there you
it's
go.
great. So
Have
I don't
you
know. They're
given us a
getting
review?
like hundreds of views.
That's not.
Soon to be thousands.
Yeah, there we go.
Views, listens, whatever it is.
Speak it over us. Yeah,
You
we
can't Yelp
receive it.
us, right?
You know what? I can.
Yes!
Oh, it's like this amalgam, but I'll figure it out. And I would be the first to review. That's like a big deal on Yelp to be a first reviewer. Then, I have to post pictures of you guys, which, by the way, I did review the cupcake business that Stephanie does. So if you want to go on Yelp and check it out, tell them about your business real quick. Come on, tell them about your business. Just give a plug. Go ahead.
Yeah, do a
Okay.
plug.
How? He's asking me the question?
Boom, that's right.
We
The
switched it.
tables are
The
turned.
tables have turned. Yes, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook, Heavenly Delight Cupcakes.
And Yelp.
And Yelp. I know. Pastor Dave, he's my
I
Yelp.
ask her for pictures all the time so I can keep her updated on
Yeah.
Yelp. It looks,
I just
it's
asked
so
him
supreme.
if he could just run my Yelp account because I don't understand. I don't
Same.
understand.
They're delightful though, and she can do
Seriously.
many and all forms of
Seriously.
cupcakes that you
Seriously.
want, birthday parties, weddings,
Really good.
bar
Anything.
mitzvahs,
Anything.
anything.
Let
Or
me
you're
know.
just bored.
You just want a cupcake.
You just want a cupcake.
I got you, boo.
nom nom.
Call
So,
me.
Yeah, for real.
Roll 'em up.
Alrighty, I think we're gonna cut it off there. But
Thank you.
once again, thank you, Pastor Dave. We love
We
you.
appreciate
Peace
you.
out.
Much appreciated, and we love you guys too.
Yes,
And,
thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next
We'll
one.
see you next time on episode 4.
Episode 4.
Oh, snap.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.